Hi friends, welcome on YourPedia, the platform where you are getting the classes, mentoring for your upcoming exam of Inspectors of Factories in Andhra Pradesh Public Service Commission. Well, this video is related to ergonomics. What is ergonomics and what are the principles of ergonomics and what are the advantages of ergonomics? So basic of ergonomics, actually how it goes, and this is one of the topics in your syllabus. So this is the exam for which we are preparing, friends. Job calendar, if you see, there are 12 vacancies for Inspector of Factories, and on 15th of August for mechanical, chemical, electrical engineers with 2 years of experience, this job is going to come nearby 15th of August, and by that time obviously YourPedia will be completing this entire domain. So we have already covered this particular part. So this is the recruitment 2026, and the pattern of the exam is also to some extent known to us. So the syllabus also is general studies, mental ability part, and then this is the syllabus for general studies part, and second part is your occupational safety, health, environment, and in that occupational safety, health and environment, ergonomics and system safety is the topic. So working posture analysis, workstation design, these are the topics which we will be studying today. So what musculoskeletal disorder, MSD, which is called as, so what is the meaning of that? This is what we are going to study today. So anthropometry we have already done in the previous lecture. So this one is related to ergonomics. Now ergonomics is also called human factor engineering or human factor, and it is to fit the person, fit the person in his working environment, or to design the working environment for the comfort and safety of the person. I am a person, I am to work in a place, let's say I am a computer operator. So what kind of chair should be designed so that I comfortably sit on that, and my health is okay sitting on that, I should not get a backache or neck ache, and lighting system should be good, air conditioning should be good. So I am to design the workplace around the worker so that it is safe for him to work and comfortable for him to work. But it is not related to physical comfort, it is also mental and social adjustment. Like situation in the environment should not be toxic, it should not be psychologically stressful for the person. So ergonomics takes care of that all. So basically it is the science in which you fit the workplace condition and job demands as per the capability of the person. So interaction between the people and their work environment should be optimized. So there are certain definitions: process of designing or arranging the workplace product systems so that fit the people who use them. So as for my comfort, I mean, if I am putting sitting on the computer chair, then computer chair should be such that my back, my neck, my head, my arms should be it should be designed accordingly. So purpose is to create safe, comfortable and productive output is good workplace. So human capabilities and limitation into design of workplace. So body size, strength, skill, speed, sensory abilities, and even attitude, everything is to be in that. So branch of science that aims to learn about human abilities and limitations, and how it is to be done. So these are some of the definitions of what ergonomics is all about. So it is basically to design anything that helps the worker or person get comfortable in his workplace, and it takes care of his health and safety. So between the fit environment, I mean, am I fit for this particular environment? Is my environment fit for me? Those kind of things, right? So my capabilities and my limitations are to be considered to ensure that I do my job properly. Whether I am driving something, so driver seat, how it should be there, depending upon my size, my height, my everything. So do I have the option? You must have seen in the car, when a driver sits, he has the option depending upon his leg size to come close to steering or go away from the steering, to tilt the chair. So depending upon what is comfortable to me, I have designed the chair of a driver, something like that in the car. So that is example of ergonomics. Now what is the goal of ergonomics or human factor? Minimize the risk of injury or harm to the person, worker, improve workplace and environment for human comfort. So I am talking about safety and comfort. Comfort and safety. Environment should be safe, healthy, comfortable to the worker. Human error should be reduced. I mean, I'm to design the workplace in such a way that I don't make much error. So to avoid the error, things should be very clearly visible to you. They should be, I mean, you have to listen the things. So I'm to enhance the capability of the human being so that he does not make the mistakes. Then eventually it is linked to productivity, safety, occupational health, improve the comfort, repetitive strain injuries, which is MSD we will study today. So repetitive strain injuries should be prevented, and other MSD, musculoskeletal disorder, should be reduced. So work stress related disability should be minimum. Then comes focus. It aims to improve human well-being and overall system performance by understanding the interaction between human and other elements of the system, designing and modifying the work environment to fit the worker rather than forcing the worker to fit the environment. So it is a very, very important line. So you cannot force a person, worker, to fit in the environment. Okay, this is a chair, just fit yourself in this chair. No, bring the chair which is as per my requirement. So something like that. So you are not to fit the worker into the environment, you have to design the environment so that it is fit for worker, something like that. Now key goals are, as I told you, otherwise efficiency, productivity, comfort, reduce the fatigue is to be reduced, create safe and healthy environment. And factors, I mean scope is physical, cognitive, organizational. Physical means related to my body, repetitive motion or not, posture. Cognitive is like mental workload, how I am to see the things. Organizational like people related, work schedule, communication. So social, cognitive, that is behavioral or psychological, and physical factor, all are considered. Application, office, manufacturing place, health care environment, product design, wherever you are doing working, this ergonomics can be used. Ergon means work, nomos means law. So law of doing work. Ergonomics literally meaning laws of doing work. So when you are doing work, what kind of principles do you follow? How the workplace and equipment can best be used and designed for comfort, safety, efficiency and productivity. So if a question comes, ergonomics takes care of what? You will say comfort, yes. Safety, yes. Efficiency, yes. Productivity, yes. It takes care of all. So it is basically working on the interaction between human and other elements of the system. So that is how it is working. Ergonomics is that branch of science that which deals with the people and their working environment. So these are the things. So that is a definition of this. Now what are the advantages? Obviously if ergonomics is there, then human efficiency will increase. It reduces the tension, awkward position of the body, and it is safe for worker. It makes work easier, comfortable, which further reduces the stress, enhances the satisfaction and productivity, and it works on the health of worker, which eventually if the worker health is a problem in the organization, then it can lead to the compensation to the worker. The production can stop or production will be lesser, efficiency will be lesser. So this ergonomics is something which is good. It improves the quality of the work. Yes, so favorable environment if it is there, then quality of the worker can work efficiently, level of satisfaction in the workers will increase, and it helps. And other aspects are to reduce the absenteeism due to more comfortable and safe and healthy working environment. People will come to office and they will work. Workplace is safe, so people are motivated. So these are some advantages of this. Now there are 10 principles of ergonomics. how to make the place fit in the worker, how to make the place suitable for the worker. So there are some 10 principles for that. First is work in neutral posture. So you should work in a neutral posture of your body. Work in a posture which actually is neutral, not on the extreme side, so that body does not undergo any kind of strain or stress. Alignment of neck, hand, wrist are necessary. So let's imagine if you are working somewhere and your neck is not straight. So neutral position is neck is like this. What is not neutral is, right? So this is a neutral position. Work in a neutral position. So for every part of the body there is a neutral position. If the body is in neutral position, then you will not get stressed, but otherwise there can be strain. And when you make use of laptop or in the wrong posture, or mobile if you are seeing in the wrong portion, you will be developing some problems. So work in a neutral portion. Excessive force should not be used at any joint of your body. So minimize the manual work. So if you are working in such a way that excessive force you have to do, then somewhere or the other problem will be there. You have to keep everything within comfortable reach. So you have to work in such a place that your hand, you need not to stretch yourself a lot to hold something. So you have to working in such a way that avoid unnecessary stretching or strain. So good posture, you have to maintain good posture. That is something which is important. Work at proper height. A proper height makes things easier. Avoid extension of the chair or table. Reduce excessive motions. Repetitive motions are to be avoided, because it can lead to disorder or numbness. Repetitive motions are one of the main reasons of MSD. So make use of machines or tools to reduce the motions, unnecessary motions. Minimize the fatigue and static load. Fatigue is common. Fatigue means repetitive. Anything which is repetitive leads to the fatigue. So if you want to reduce the fatigue, then don't use the repetitive things. So whenever work you are doing which is repetitive, it leads to fatigue. So it can be reduced by taking break. When you are doing the work, take a break and fatigue will not be there. Pressure point you have to reduce. So you have to sit on a chair, there should be cushioning on that. Pressure point is basically behind your knees. When a chair is too high or you are dangling your legs, pressure point is created, right? So that is not good. There are anti-fatigue mats and all which you can use. Provide the clearance, so enough space should be there. Move, exercise, stretch when you are working. You should have opportunity to stretch yourself. Comfortable environment is to be maintained. So what is MSD now? Ergonomic injuries. So this basically affect the muscle, nerves, your ligaments, joints, spinal disc, everything. These are repetitive motion injuries. So if you are working in some situation where you have to make the repetitive motion, then it can lead to MSD. So it can affect your muscle, joint and bones, and these are caused due to individual risk factor or ergonomic risk factor. This is the main workplace injury. So somebody asks you what is the most common workplace related injury, you will say this is the MSD, because this comes because of the repetitive motion. And 30% of workers compensation cost, because they will be having some kind of health issue, so organization is to give compensation to them, so that is because of MSD. Ergonomics risk factor are high task repetition, awkward body posture for long time. If you are sitting in awkward body, you may be knowing that when your sleeping posture is not correct or your working posture is not correct, then you develop some kind of backache or something like that. So that is a backache. Lower backache is an example of MSD, right? So you are lifting heavy weight, you are doing repetitive motions, you are doing awkward body posture, sitting in the wrong posture, that is MSD. But it can be prevented if you avoid repetitive motions, if you use machines for strenuous actions, maintain the body posture, use cushion pads, these kind of things if you use, it can be avoided. Now what are the 3 domains of research in ergonomics? Is it only related to physical, or it is related to mental also, which is cognitive, or it is also related to organization, so that is social. So I can say organization means people working around you, system around you, that is social. Cognitive means something related to mind or brain or something like that. So environmental ergonomics is concerned with human interaction with environment, and like climate, temperature, pressure, vibration, light. Emerging field of human factor is highway safety, which use understand the action and capability of road users like car and truck driver, pedestrians, cycles. So there are so many basically emerging field of ergonomics, like highway safety, how you can make the highway safety through ergonomics. If the driver who are driving on the highway, they are feeling comfortable and they are not stressed mentally. Most of the accidents in highways because you are mentally fatigued, and then your attention span is limited, and then you come across the accident. So if I want to make highways safe, I need to reduce that particular fatigue from the drivers. Now physical ergonomics is like human anatomy, our body. So anthropometric is related to physical ergonomics. So most prevalent type of work related injury is MSD. So that is because of persistent pain, loss in capacity, workability. So all these problems come because of physical strain, right? Repetitive forceful exertions, frequent heavy overhead lifts, these lead to physical. Now cognitive is related to mental process. So there can be mental fatigue. So you think of yourself driving for hours, for 10 hours, 12 hours, mentally you will be fatigued, right? Perception, your memory, reasoning, your response. So human and other elements of the system, right? And third is organizational ergonomics. Organizational ergonomics is concerned with optimization of socio-technical systems. So organizational structure, policies, processes. So all these things like you're talking to others, working times, teamwork, participatory design. So basically you are to work in a team in the organization, and those things are important. So that is organizational ergonomics. Now for material handling, whenever you are working in an organization where a lot of material handling is involved, so where is the ergonomics in the material handling domain? Now ergonomics requirement for material handling and storage activities are very, very important, because whatever we are saying like repetitive motions, that repetitive motions are there in the material handling domain. Like lifting and manual handling, if we talk about, the principle is like minimum lifting should be there. You have to make use of forklift, pallet jacks, hoist, machines, wherever you have to make use of lifting. So this is a wrong way, because C curve is becoming, this is the neutral posture. This is the right way to lift something, this is a wrong way to lift something. So don't give a C curve to your back. Like this is also the right way to lift something. I mean, sit properly, don't bend, sit properly and then lift it up. So their lifting techniques are to be there, proper lifting techniques. Bend your knees, keeping the back straight. So when you are lifting something, don't bend your back, you keep your back straight, right? Avoid that twisting. So there are weight limits obviously, and handle design weight limits you have to take into consideration. So there are always some kind of recommended lifting weight by men, women. So 10 kg you can lift, women 7 kg can be lifted, something like that. So there is a principle of lifting. Lift with legs and keep the load close to your body. 50% personal strength limits should be below that. Minimize the twisting with load, right? And exercise care. So you have to slippery, if there is a slippery on the ground, you have to take care of that. So this is how you have to, whenever you are lifting something, keep that close to your body, don't keep it away from body. So this one is not good, because as you increase the length of something which you are holding, like 5 kg, and let's say it is at some particular distance, so the load acting here, if it is not close to body, you see these two differences. If close to body, it is only putting pressure of 5 kg, but here it is putting pressure of 50 kg maybe. So weight exerted on spine for different types of lifting. So there is also some kind of guidelines for maximum handling load, women and men. right? So these are some of the laws which you have to follow. Now pushing and pulling. So whenever there is a pushing or pulling, you have to do in such a way that force is reduced, proper posture is there, you have to handle the height also. So the images are showing workers moving heavy boxes with the trolley, and use of trolley to move heavy objects helps you to reduce the injuries. Like at airport or something, when there is a lot of luggage, you should put that luggage in the trolley. So what is the principle of pushing and pulling? You should push the load rather than pull it, because pushing will put lesser this basically push the load rather than pull, because it improves the visibility which is ahead of you. Shoes that provide the good grip. When you are starting the push, one foot should be braced and other use the back, not the hand and arm, right? Pushing pulling is easier when cart handles are about hip height, so that is always beneficial. Pushing is better than pulling when you want to move heavy object, because it does not affect your we know that for pushing, the friction involved is more and effort or force applied may be more in pushing rather than pulling. But for body posture, for ergonomics, pushing is better. Pushing is better for ergonomics actually. Right, as it is mentioned, it will apply load on your lower limbs compared to pulling. You use your upper and lower limb both, and especially for heavy bodies. So storage layout you have to maintain in such a way that you are to reach something, it is not you have to stretch yourself. Adjustable shelf can be there. Workstation design you have to do. Repetitive motions are to be reduced. Proper you have to have tool design, and work rest cycles you have to arrange, right? So as I told you, workstations, adjustable workstation should be there, so that there is adequate leg room and clearance. So proper lighting should also be there, which provides the proper lighting to minimize eye strain, and anti-fatigue mat should be there. Now ergonomic training to the worker is very important, and you have to educate worker on risk of musculoskeletal disorder. So storage, proper stacking should be there, so the width and clearly you should have a particular space for it. This is example of neutral posture. So body, hand, neutral posture is this. So less stressed situation it is, and at proper heights you have to work. So proper height is the key. It helps you to improve your productivity and less strain. These are some of the other examples at which you can if the boxes are stacked very high, visually it may not be in position to see ahead of you, so neck strain can be there if you are doing that, so you have to avoid that. And then friends, a lot of question basis based upon this. So questions will enhance your confidence for whatever you have studied, so please do these questions. So this was the lecture in which you understood what is MSD, what are basic principles of ergonomics, what actually is ergonomics, what are the various dimensions of ergonomics, like physical, cognitive or mental, and psychosocial. So these are some of the dimensions, and what is the advantage of ergonomics, why do we need it, what are the various principles that you understood. So ergonomics, there will be a couple of videos, couple of lectures on ergonomics, and most important thing is like the content which is provided to you, and then the questions which you have to solve, right? So if you do this practice of these questions, some of the questions which are asked in the previous exams, different exam where ergonomics was part of the syllabus, so that will help you to develop confidence in this particular subject. So the syllabus of Inspector of Factories is not very vast friends, but you should go through this syllabus, and I am very sure if you revise, then you will be confident in this entire syllabus which is provided to you. And subjects like ergonomics, they have mentioned this is a part of the syllabus, and this is not very vast, but yes, easy to understand if you revise it properly. So that was the topic, ergonomics and system safety, which we did today. And design and job stress and some kind of questions which are framed from this. So please revise it, and 4-5 lectures, 5-6 lectures, ergonomics and system safety will do. Thank you.